the Nubian people's modern history is marred by forced displacement. This started in 1902 with the filling of the Aswan Reservoir. Then, in the 1960s, they faced a further cultural disintegration after their villages were flooded by the Aswan High Dam, a colossal project undertaken by pan-Arab nationalist leader Gamal Abdel Nasser. Tens of thousands of Nubians were displaced from their historic lands in Sudan and Egypt. In Egypt, although the dam project was hailed a success, the reality for Nubians was rather different. This vibrant and ancient community lost their sacred land, artifacts, and in some cases, their sense of identity. Used to baptizing their children in Nile water while inhabiting beautifully colored homes and surrounded by fertile lands, this life was stripped away from the community. The wave of displacement lasted 9 months, from October 1963 until June 1964. The Egyptian government relocated around 135,000 Nubians living in 44 villages in homes that would overlook Lake Nasser. They were displaced to arid lands unsuitable for agriculture, away from the Nile's rich banks, and had to endure poor conditions like lack of electricity and clean water. Today, Nubians can be found in Egypt's South Komombo and Nasr al-Nuba, north of Aswan. One can also find the beautiful Nubian complexion in the streets of Egypt's big metropolises like Cairo, Alexandria, and Aswan. While Sudanese Nubians live in northern Sudan, particularly in the region between the city of Wadi Halfa in the Egypt-Sudan border and Al-Daba. Although there is no exact data, it is estimated that there are around 3 million Nubians in Egypt today. And their story is not one of a victimized ethnic group. Although the older generation appears to have accepted the status quo, their children and grandchildren have not. Young Nubians are making significant pushes to return to their homeland. They have resisted the Egyptian government policies through peaceful protests, demanding they be allowed to return to their land. And through the practice of their language and culture, have refused to whitewash their identity with a singular Egyptian one. Some constitutional progress has also been made in recognizing the group's unique identity. Promises made to return them to their land by 2024. The ancient Nubian culture lives on. On every Ramadan iftar table, families enjoy the stories of Bakar, a Nubian child whose adventures have become a generational pillar for millions of young Egyptian people. Living musical legends like Mohammed Munir, the man known as the voice of the Nile, are heard in every household. He sings in both Arabic and his native Nubian language. His song Shamandura is about a boy guiding ships from the Nile to the land, and perhaps best reflects the reason why these ancient people will always have a place in the region's past, present, and future. But as the region prepares for more mega projects along the Nile, the suffering of the Nubian people should serve as a reminder to all African states that a nation's economic prosperity and development should not come at the cost of a people whose heritage, culture, and traditions are as sacrosanct as the River Nile itself.